Right, Sunday the 18th of May, we've got this side looking something like, we're going to start the other side today. I've got a question for you. Do you want to see it in parts, step by step, so you can follow the journey, or do you just want an all-in-one in a few months when it's all ready? Let me know in the comments. So we're going to crack on, we'll see you soon. And what the public decided was that you wanted it in parts. Alright, so first job is lifting this old lawn up. We've got the Camon TC07 turf cutter. So what we're going to do is do squares. We'll cut it one way then the other. It's easier doing it that way than rolling it up. We are above the flags as we know, but even when we took a layer off at the maximum cutting depth that we can go to, we're still going to be above it. So we're going to have to do another run underneath until we're below the pavement. As we get to that top end, we're a bit better. We're actually going to be below after one drop, so that's fine. And then we'll just see what's left after we've done. Because I'm still kind of unsure of how we're going to tackle this one after, because we are quite high, so we're not going to need that much root zone going on top. So we'll see as we go. So we've got Paul just behind us ready to get going as well. So let's get going and then we can get home. I think we've got a different machine today. Just started lifting the turf up and look what we found. 3 leather jackets all in a row with no visible damage on the lawn. So if you've only got a few, they're not going to cause much damage. It's when you've got thousands in one place that they do the damage. So we'll see how many more we find. But the best thing to do with them is just take them off. There's actually 4, and we'll just put them to one side and let them become daddy long legs. Okay, so that's the end of day 1 finished on this side of the Galactic project. Have we busted a gut getting this up? No. It's just taken 4 hours between us, so it would take a day. Probably could get it done in less time if it wasn't so blooming hot, but it's ridiculously hot. So it's just been a bit of a leisurely Sunday digging up today with not much stress to our bodies. So that's it. It's a bit dry. Found a few leather jackets. Very dry. It's like a cricket wicket than a lawn at the moment, but hopefully it'll look something like that soon. So our next job will be to move all this. We'll get a grabber in to do that tomorrow or Tuesday. Should be able to get all that on one. Hopefully you can, because it's getting on for 300 quid per load. So if we can get 2 loads 600, gets a bit dead, doesn't it? So soil wise, I think we're going to wait for it to rain first. Give it a week or 2 to see what grows, and then we can round up that off, because there's probably some annual meadowgrass seeds in here from what's fallen off from when we've cut it, and just what's underneath in the seed bank, because that's been disturbed as well. And then we'll do it. There's no immediate rush with this one. We just want to get it right first and foremost. So yeah, let's get some rain I think we're going to need about 6 to 8 tonnes of root zone coming in. We're about right here, so we are going to crown it a little bit, just so it's a little bit raised, because we've no other option to. But we did manage to get lower all the way around, so we've got room to build it back up. Right, welcome back to the Galactic project. If you remember 2 weeks ago, we were here stripping this old lawn off. Well, today we're back and we're going to be prepping this lawn ready for our new seed so we can get it as good as that other side. So it's not going to do itself, so let's go. So just have a quick walk over. The lawn has been very dry, obviously because of the drought. So this top surface is like dust, but it's wet now. So it's great because we can rake it up and get rid of all the roots, any old bits of grass that are lurking around. The turf cut is for another job, but that's all right. We'll just add that delivered so we don't have to go for it. So we've got to rake all this up. As you can see, millions of worm casts. Going to be a problem for us going forward, but we can't do anything about that. So you see over here, we've just got to remove all this like old grass, get that out. We can fill some in over there, fill that up. But generally what we'll do is we will put it on this verge over here. There was a lot of damage from where the grabber came. So we'll fill that in with this because that'll be all right, and then we'll get that root zone on and mix in some field compost as well. So yeah, so it's looking like a good day ahead. We can get it looking something like that one. What grass?
Not them salted too.
Oh, is it? Oh, did he come?
Yeah. It take a lot. It took like 10, 15 pieces.
Yeah, they
Do edging as well, but I've been in obviously it's like to get better. Standing up, all grass is growing.
Oh, it's too hot now.
Quality stuff there. It's isn't it?
It's good too, it's like cooking the bits. Field compost, root zone, 70-30 kiln dry. Well, you've been no day you if I can coming back at night, but with slag bag and
Slag bag. Slag, not slag bag.
I said slag bag.
I thought you said slag bag.
Why would I say slag
I
bag?
say what the fuck's one of them? I don't know, but I want 2 of them.
Yeah. Alright, so that's the lawn de-rooted and we scraped off all that dead grass and excess soil. We've just piled it over there. We're going to build up, like I said, that tree area over there where the grabber came and did a bit of damage. So the thing is with these roots, what we've been pulling out, you start at one end and you end up at the other, so it just shows you how far those roots have travelled over the years. But we've sorted all those out. It's ready now for the root zone, so we'll do that after breakfast. We're just going to get them at D's and we'll be back, so we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're just getting ready to move this root zone. So again, it's the same stuff as we use over there. Always keep it the same. Binds together really well, but then crumbles. And even after 10 years, we showed in the previous video that even after 10 years, we did that and it still crumbled nice and bonnet. So what we're going to do is this time is I'm going to add a lot more field compost than I did the other side. I only added 4 bags, and I think that was partly the problem as to why it took so long to come through and the problems that we had with a few areas going yellow and not taking. So what we're going to do is add more field compost, because I did some tests in my back garden just in some little trays and I seeded direct into this. It's come through but just not as good, it's quite stunted, even though the pH level is about right. I mixed a batch of 50-50 of this and field compost and that's come through absolutely fantastic. And just as a test I just did some Westland topsoil as well, and the Westland topsoil and the field compost mixed with this are exactly the same, but maybe this stuff is actually better. I'll show you now. See, the sand's not done that well. The middle tray is root zone mixed with field compost, and the end tray is just the Westland topsoil. And all they've had so far is Stella and Orbit, and there's the results. So I think adding more field compost is the way forward, which we have got. So we'll go and get that after, and we'll get it all mixed in. But it's a bit windy, so it's a bit causing problems because it's drying out this topsoil underneath. So the sooner we can get this on, the sooner we can protect all that water there underneath, because what we don't want, it's a bit like an avalanche, like a bit of snow. When we put the root zone on this, if it's dry, the two entities are kind of separate. If we get a heavy downpour, it's just going to slide off. So we could do with getting the root zone on while this is a little bit damp, so it has a bit of sticking quality to it. But if it does, it does. But hopefully it won't rain that heavy when we get it on. So let's start moving it. So we're just raking this out. The question is, have we got enough? We've got 2.5 tons left. We had to go quite deep over here just because we had more to backfill, but as we get over here we only need to put a layer on, because if you remember, the lawn was a lot higher than the curbstones around, so that's a good thing. But we still need a decent layer. We need to fill in more, so it's going to just slightly rise away from those pavers. But I think in the end, I think we'll just be about right. So I'll just get my screw fix rake and we'll just push it around. We're not interested in getting a final level at the moment, so we don't need to like spend all day micro managing it and trying to get it right. This is just basically getting it spread around all over, because when we get our field compost on, we're going to be mixing it all in and disturbing all those levels again. We're just getting an idea as to whether we need to order any more or not order any more. We can't get any today anyway, so it'll be Monday. So hopefully we've got enough, because we can do what we need to do, which is get that field compost all in, mixed in, and then let it rain. Looks like it could rain. It's going to rain heavy early on in the week, and we'll get this seeded after that. I don't think we'll be seeding this with heavy rain due. I don't think I'm going to put, I'm not sure yet. I might not put fleece down, I'm not sure. It's just saying when it being a bit of a wind tunnel, it's just flap around and it just moves the seed. And I think it's, with the temperatures being as they are, we can get the grass seed up and away in a few, maybe like 4 or 5 days. So I don't think we need to worry about fleecing it, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, still undecided. Right, Paul's going to carry on moving the soil, so I just be lazy and just pretend I'm moving this around and watch him moving it. It won't know any different, so there you go. Right, see you in a bit. So we're just getting the last few barrel loads in. We've got enough, we've got just a little bit left in the bag. So once again, my skills of quantity surveying have come up trumps. If you remember, not so much on the pavers, that was a bit of a disaster, but on soil, I'm pretty good. So we'll just do this like not a final level or anything like that, we're just merely getting it all over, getting it somewhat like, and then what we'll do is we'll go and get the field compost and start adding that over and get it all mixed in. I'm looking forward to getting this seeded in a couple of days. Got a decision to make as and when. It's very windy at the moment, so it certainly won't be today. Then we've got some heavy rain due on Tuesday. So we don't want to do it during then either, because it will just wash it away perhaps if it's really heavy. So we'll just wait for that all to go, and then we'll choose the right day to get it done. Because we're not going to rush it. We've waited this long. We can wait a few more days just to ensure we get it absolutely spot on. So yeah, looking forward to get it looking like the other side, which is looking good as well. All right, so we're just going on with the field compost now. I'm literally just going to tip the bag out and pretend I'm top dressing the whole lawn, just like we would if it was overseeding. And I'm just going to rake it around and spread it over. Remember, 15% off, DHLE 15. So I'm literally just going to give a nice coating all over, not mixing it in at this point, just spreading it over. Then we'll mix it in with the fork like we did on the other side. And that'll get it nicely worked in. So I want more on this time, you see, than last time. I've put 4 bags on before, and I just wish I'd have put more on. And I think we're going to go like as much as we can. We've got 30 bags to play with, so we'll see what we can do. So it's just a case of doing this, and then we'll go over with the fork, like I said. Leave it with me. Okay, so we're just down to our last bag. We've run out. We're not going to be able to do the whole job with the 20, so we'll just go and get the other 10. But we'll do that tomorrow now because it's getting on in time. and we'll come back and get it done. Because we're not seeding anything yet, so it doesn't matter. We're just going to go over it and work this in with the fork, just so it doesn't blow away, because it's literally like 40-mile-an-hour winds forecast for the next few days. So we'll just get this worked in and come back tomorrow with 10 more bags and spread them over this area here. And then at least we'll be ready for seeding. Get it wet on Tuesday with some heavy rain. Get us nice and wet again. And then we can get on with some seed maybe later on in the week. So yeah, so that's done for today. So me and Paul came back on the Sunday and put that field compost down, but it was just so windy, it was actually blowing off the top of the surface. So we got that on and give it a mix in with the fork. So I had a bit of spare time in the week, so I came and put the zeolite on, getting ready to mix that in. What that is going to do going forward is going to give us water and more so nutrient retention. So even though the weather's absolutely chucking it down, I just put my hood up and carried on. It wasn't cold, it was just wet. So I'll give it a final rake, just to rake all that zeolite in and mix the compost in a bit more. Then went over with a fork, just dragging it behind me again, just getting this field compost well and truly mixed in, ready for the seed, because it was still sitting on top a little bit and I wanted a bit more amelioration in with the sand, and that just means mixing it in a posh sense. So in between texting, I just cracked on. The sun was coming out, so it warmed up a little bit, so it was nice to do. Had my music on with the headphones. Got that done, and then finished off with the march of the penguins, just to give it all a nice firm finish and just find any areas that just needed a little bit of extra compaction. And to be honest, in the middle it was absolutely fine, because it was only a little bit of root zone went on there. Around the edges it just needed a little bit more attention because it was a lot deeper, but got it done, and that's it. Alright, so we've got the lawn here looking very nice indeed, and as you've just seen, we've cracked on to this point where last time out I just went over and did the walk of the penguins just to compact it down, even though it didn't really need it in most areas. It's just nice to go over just to make sure there's no areas which are deeper than others which just are going to sink in time. So we sorted those out. So what I planned to do today was give it a final rake and get the seed down, but not sure it's going to be possible because the wind's picked up and it's raining. But we'll see, I can still do the final level and then we'll take it from there, because that's going to take me an hour and it might have stopped by then and the wind might have dropped. So let's see, and hopefully we can get it done, because we are running out of time this week, because it's going to be very hot later on in the week and the wind's going to be picking up as well to 30s again. We've just had ridiculous winds over the last couple of weeks and it's just not been possible to get this side done. This is the first day of light winds that we've had, so we've been unlucky really, but they say you make your own luck, so hopefully in a few weeks we'll have done it right and it'll be looking smart. So let's crack on with the levelling and we'll speak in a bit. Just a quick look over this side. It's a Monday the 9th of June. A few little speckles of like lime green grass, I'm not sure what causes that. Over there as well, as you can see down there, that's where we had the trouble with that germination, but double cut, went that way with the rotary and then left to right with the cylinder on 20mm today. Just we've got that heat wave coming, just leaving it a little bit longer. We've got to crack on. What I also did was got my angle grinder out and burnt it out actually, getting rid of all the mortar which had just spilled off from the floor point. We had to chisel all that off. But yeah, looking all right. I'm happy with that level. We'll just give it another fine tune, like I said, with the rake, and then we're good to go with the seeding. I would like to get it done because it's raining tonight, which is going to get it really wet. Wetter the better. And then we've got the heat later on in the week, and this seed will be up in 4 or 5 days, I reckon. So I'm not even going to bother seeding it because we've got the moisture in there. It's really wet. The compost is wet, the soil underneath is wet, the existing soil is wet, so it's all stuck together now nicely. So when that sun gets on it, gets that heat on it, it's just going to go bump up and away. So we're not even going to fleece it. Yeah. Have you had anybody knocking on your door asking where you get it from?
That's really good, Danny.
Okay, so we're nearly done. Just got to go around and sweep the edges off. Make sure that's all clean before we put the seed on, which I'm going to do because the wind's dropped as I'd hoped. Perfect timing. Birds having an absolute field day, catching worms and flicking the soil up, which is making me worried because I'm not going to cover it, as I've said. So that might change. But because there's no rain due, I might just get, there's no rain due, I'll say, after the rain that we're going to get in a couple of days, for the next couple of days, but then we could go on with like tarp because it's no rain's going to fall, so it doesn't matter. So that's going to keep the heat in, keep the moisture in, means we don't have to water. The grass doesn't need sunlight to grow, just heat. So that's a worm there that can go on and live a new life over that side. So it only needs heat and then get that up and away. But you can't put tarp down if it's going to rain because the rain will gather on top and the weight of it will create hollows in the lawn. So just bear that in mind, because I did do that at Peter's job, if you remember, a few years ago. On the front, put the tarp down, it worked a treat, which is an absolute treat. But we'll see, it's quite a big area, so it's, I haven't looked up the price, and it would cost about 150 quid in tarp. So fleece probably, 50 quid, but it just flaps around in the wind and just moves the seed around, like I said. So I'm just going to try something different on this side. Just learn, even though I said that other side would be a perfect job. Just chase it, never take a root out once you see it, because you'll just end up opening up loads of can of worms that you wish you hadn't. So yeah, let's just learn as we go along. Even though we said this side we were going to do the perfect side on, we're going to learn some things off this which we can take onto here, which is don't use the fleece because it causes more problems. And I've just knocked my brew over. That's no good. Hopefully you didn't see that, because I think I did it on purpose. Bit of a nice brew as well. Got a Kit Kat as well. Right, so that's all the edges swept in. Must say, absolutely delicious looking job. The firmness from all the rain that we've had, if you remember in like Shawshank, if you've seen that, Red says like rocks, creating rocks is time and pressure. That's all you need is time and pressure. And he's referring to Andy Dufresne escaping, but we've had a couple of weeks of this soil just sitting there getting wet, and the pressure and the time and all that water has compressed it to a point which I couldn't do if I'd have just put it down and walked on it. So that's good news for us. So it was really firm, and when I was raking, I was literally just raking the top layer because it was like stuck underneath, which is great because we've kept that firmness. So when I go on with this spreader now, the wheels ain't going to sink in, so it like jerks and I end up throwing seed everywhere. It's going to be lovely and solid. And yeah, as long as, so is it level? No, it's not level because we've got a hill, so it can't be level because obviously the bubble wouldn't be in the middle. But is it mowable both ways? Yeah, your rake will tell you if it's not, because you'll be able to see. So if your rake can go over both ways without leaving a hollow or an area where you're not able to rake, then you would have to address that. But because we know we've been over it both ways in different directions with the rake, there's no areas which are going to be like getting stuck with a mower where it's hitting a slope before it's ready, so it ends up digging in. It's perfect that way and that way. And then once we do our final rake over with the seed, we can fine tune it a little bit more. But yeah, generally I'm happy with this. And this side you might think, oh yeah, it's really level. It's not, there's undulations, but you just can't see them because the mower just rides along them and fills in this area beautiful. I love this border, just sits in like AstroTurf. And she was just saying, Mary, somebody walked past and asked if it was AstroTurf, but it wouldn't, you would be able to tell because that yellowing down there, because AstroTurf doesn't have yellow grass in it generally. But so far I'm happy with this, and we've got like all of June yet to get really right, and then 1st of July I think this is going to look even better because we're going to get that heat of next week, keep on cutting, feeding, etc, keep on with the routine, and yeah, we're on some good stuff. Now with this, we're on a bit of a time frame, first game of the season. This is going to be smart for us. We've got about 8 weeks, depending on when it starts, maybe starts early August. So early August, we want to be getting on this, double striping it or quadruple striping it and getting it looking like a football pitch, ready for the kick-off of the new season. So that's my target. Okay, now it's time for seeding. What seed are we using? As normal, using the Extreme Dwarf Ryegrass. Why? 2 reasons. We did this side in it, so it'd be daft to do something different on this side. And secondly, I just love what it does. I love the colour, I love the thickness, I love the glossiness of the stripe when it's sunny. I just love it, I love cutting it, I just love everything about it. But if you want to use bent fescue, because that makes you happy, you do whatever you want. It's your garden, you can do whatever you want in it. But because I'm in charge of these gardens, I've got permission to do whatever I want in these. So I choose to use this. But just let me warn you, if you do choose the bent fescue, you ain't ever gonna get it looking like this, because bent fescue isn't supposed to be 25, 30 mil long. It's supposed to be like 5 to 8 mil long, and you ain't gonna get that stripe. So let's crack on, because that wind has dropped and we've just got a window. Okay, so just going on with the seed now. I'm using the Rotary spreader on setting 32, but I do have an amount weighed out, and I'm going on at 50 grams a square metre, and I'm just doing multiple passes until I run out. So just blowing off a bit of seed that went on the path before we do our final rake and level. This job was perfect, and we don't need to put any H2 on because the rain has done a great job at wetting that compost through. Alright, so that's this video done on how to prepare a seed bed for seeding. So old lawn out, new root zone and field compost mixed in, and then zeolite on, prepped, levelled, honed, seed, final level, and ready for some rain. And we'll let that happen tonight, and then we'll come back, and if we need to, we will fleece it or tarp it or whatever. But I'm confident that because we've got that water going on there and then the intense heat this week, this seed will be up in no time as well. And then we can get on with some products maybe in a week and get this lawn up and running for that deadline of the first game of the season. So take care and we'll see you soon.